the southern part of the USA, Tennessee, Alabama, and all those places. You never read out in Halifax especially. Indeed, Halifax was one of the original routes of slaves returning back to Africa to found the colony of Freetown, which is Sierra Leone today. And so those were all interesting discoveries for me. After the slave trade and the profits that were being made out of the trade of human beings, there still had to be a way of expropriating the wealth that Africa had. And so the slave trade was replaced by colonialism. And at the Berlin Conference, I mean, Africa was like a cake that was being divided up amongst those who were going to eat it. And it was apportioned. Germany took its share, England took its share, France took its share, Spain, and all of them. And if you look at the map of Africa, we are 54 nations. And we all have had different colonial experiences, from Portuguese to Spanish to English to French and everything. And for a long time, our economies have been ordered in the direction of what our colonial experience was. And so the Francophone, have a direct connection with the metropolis, which is France, the British with England, the Spanish with Spain, the Portuguese with Portugal, and so on and so forth. And so all the trade routes and everything have been based on that. One would have thought that once we gained independence, and that was the excitement of becoming independent, that we're going to be able to manage our own affairs. But one of our former presidents and Pan-Africanist, Dr. Nkrumah, said that we had only emerged from colonialism into new colonialism. They didn't need to come and enslave us and carry us away physically. They didn't need to come and rule over us and take our gold and our cocoa away. But you would bring it yourself, and you will export yourself. You enslave yourself and export yourself, And of course, that's what we're seeing now. The trade routes are directed to the metropolis, so cocoa still goes, directly onto the European markets, and from there it is redistributed across the world, and everything else is what it is. We're still primary producers, and so even though Africa is the richest continent in terms of natural resources, it unfortunately does not have the privilege of adding value to whatever it produces. And so the gold goes out as raw bullion, the cocoa goes out as raw beans, the copper goes out as raw copper, and all these processes take place in other advanced countries and creating jobs outside of Africa. Now, the combination of this creates a toxic cocktail, in the sense of the fact that Africa is the fastest growing continent in terms of population. And so Africa